When it comes to a coaching practice, a common question of aspiring coaches that's on their mind is, how do I get my business off the ground? But is that everything that should be taken into consideration? Hello fellow coach, my name is Ekram Genchasan and I'm going to be your host for this educational session as we dive into all the questions you may have around coaching and entrepreneurship. So kudos to you that you have decided to pursue a path as a coach. With it comes a lot of joy in being your own boss and in general a ride for an emotional roller coaster, like up and down. As you're going to work hard, put in the hours, and it can happen that even with all of this involvement, you just don't move really anywhere forward. Why is that? Easy answer to a more complicated question. Because you solely focus on one ingredient in building a coaching practice, the business component. This is certainly a great place to begin with, as everything that you are going to do in regard to your business is obviously a sign of progress. A business won't run by itself without even taking care of it and thinking about next measures, like real next action steps to move from the current position in your business to the next level. Let us together think in the context of coaching and the business aspect about potential things that need to be taken care of. For coaches, one of the points to get started with is the offer of your service, meaning what's the result that you are going to drive for your clients. As much as some people are for multiple years in their coaching career, looking back on how much business has been missed out on and how much can be gained in the future by just having the right offer, worth millions. Depending on your respective area of coaching, this can be totally different. Some examples here could be, I help small and medium-sized enterprises scale from $1 million a year to $10 million. Or I help moms lose 30 pounds in 30 days. Or another one could be, I help parents connect with their children. These are just some random examples and certainly can be refined, but with an offer on the business side, you checked in a step to progress your business. In essence, for this section of the business component, get clarity on where you want your business to be in, let's say, 6 months from today, and be very clear on the processes that you are going to implement and perform on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Have in between some milestones for the first month, second month, and so on. While you are at it and collect data on whether or not you meet your targets for the determined time period, you may require to tweak it here and there, as you don't know what situation may come up in, let's say, 2 months from now. More on that in a second as we run through an example on how it potentially may look like. The overall question you want to focus on is, what are you going to learn about running and growing your coaching business? And with that response, you structure the ways you are going to put the ideas into action plans. So all good and fine, but which other two components are required when it comes to a coaching practice? Number 2 is a coaching methodology. A coaching methodology is essentially the coaching technique or coaching model you use to deliver transformations to your clients. Without it, good luck. Non-existence of a coaching methodology or coaching model that actually works basically translate to you operating at random. Your coaching methodology is the system in form of a guided framework that is going to serve as a thread to follow along each stage up to the solution your client is looking for. A short side note, there is no need to stick exactly with this one particular and only path. It's more like a general strategy that works. But as we operate with individuals, each individual has the right to receive a more tailored option that slightly differs from the overall methodology. While the overall methodology covers all the things the client needs, at some point, one client may encounter a challenge that is due to their unique situation completely different than what another client is currently experiencing. Keep that in mind when working on your methodology. So some typical things that are part of a methodology and I like to lean on is on the side of the research component. We often tend to attain knowledge that is even more in favor of what we already know. While this may be interesting for someone as we receive approval for the way we want to guide a client, the people who just think differently may actually challenge the approach we set for our coaching methodology. Search on both ends to get the perspective from these people who consider your way to get to the solution as totally nuts, and that's when you can prove to yourself the validity of what you've been putting together. If you think that Instagram is the way to go, don't just seek out people who think that Instagram is the way to go. Look for people who encourage you to check in on webinars, TikTok, and so on. Get into their mind and put together the pieces of the puzzle for your coaching methodology. Just be open-minded for any of their respective ways. Make sure that there is no right or wrong answer. You need to test it with your clients. People who actually want to attain that goal, check in with them. Even more, how are you going to test it? In a one-on-one setting or group setting, all of which depends on your coaching methodology. Go and get to work. Let us make a cut just here and move on over to the third component, as in regards to a coaching methodology, the overall frame to keep in mind is: what do you want to learn to become a better coach? Here you could check in on some training that will help you improve your coaching skills, and as you go, do not neglect the fact to identify ways you are going to test your methodology with your clients. So lastly, the third component I'd highly recommend you to be aware of as a coach is you. Yes, you. The person who is in charge of the coaching practice needs to have as well a plan. This thought came to my awareness when I back then encountered the statement, your business is going to grow to the extent that you grow. It just perfectly made sense to me. And ever since that moment, I carry on with this analogy that I have to look a little bit outside of purely the business component and take charge of the person running the business. So me, You know it yourself. The operating system of you can run either on low charge or fully loaded. When you are at your best, you are ready to rock the day. On the other hand, if your battery is depleted, you just don't function in the way that is required from you. This is why you need to have a game plan for your personal development. So, what are the things that you are going to learn and implement to become a better person? How do you want to grow? What are you going to do to keep your energy at peak states? Some points here would be certainly to get your nutrition dialed in. So would it be rather all junk food or actually clean food to get your energy and your engine actually even nurtured with, yeah? The best fuel you can afford. So looking at your movement component, what activities will get you to the next stage? And one thing often neglected, but so important, your sleep. How many hours of sleep do you need to run that system of yours in the best possible way? In short, eat, move, sleep. One more thing that you should take into consideration is that all the three building bricks, you, your methodology, and your business have to work in alignment with the greater picture of getting your coaching business off the ground and really running. As a business depends finally on results, these results will occur thanks to the methodology you have applied, amongst other variables, to make your clients start talking about you in a specific context. This methodology in return derives from you as a person who contextualized these imaginary ideas into something people can touch. And both of these pillars will support you in your execution plans of your business. If one direction contradicts what you are working towards in another direction, you are just playing full out in having your progress shifted to some time in the future. But by far not when you intend to get there. Alignment of these pillars is key here. And yes, usually people just plan out the part of their business. We instead have three pillars that work in a complementary way. So how to get started? Now it's action time, yeah? What I basically like to do is to reverse engineer from the back to the present moment. You pick, for example, a specific goal in regard to your business. Let it be 5,000 euros a month of revenue after 6 months. And from there you can, depending on your price point, understand how many clients you would need to attract in order to get there. Then you channel it even further and start to outline which systems in your business you would need to put in place by month 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, this is going to give you a structure with which you can then understand which actions you need to set in motion on a day-to-day basis. Accordingly, you can work with your methodology and you as a person. Probably a good question to take into consideration is, what kind of a person would I need to become in order to be able to manage or have the capacity to run a company bringing in new business worth 5K a month? Same with your methodology. How does your methodology need to change to drive in results to your clients that will be worth to then X amount? So that they, for example, start talking about you, refer you, or anything that you wish to achieve. Start little by little, yeah? First have a sneak peek for the next month, and as you evolve, continue on your journey. You can broaden the picture and get really good at determining your vision for the certain time period, your business-wise, then as well to understand the deliverables through your methodology and how to constantly improve it so that you can become the person who is able to run the coaching practice of your imaginations. So again, work on your business, your methodology, and you. And before you know it, things are going to dramatically change in your coaching business. One last complimentary option from me. If you want me to share with you a first 6-month plan you could be embracing to work on each of these areas, you, your methodology, and your business, shoot me a message on Instagram or via WhatsApp, and I'll be happy to share with you a potential action plan. Or if you just can't get your mind around it, Connect with me and we'll make sure to find your steps to get your coaching business where you want it to be. And here we are again. That's today's part from our time together. Thanks for tuning in, and if you happen to enjoy the content, smash the thumbs up button, turn on the notification bell, leave a comment, and let me know what you would like me to cover in the future. And I see you next time in our next session together. Peace.